Greetings, everyone. This is Terry Naturally with another edition of Terry Talks Nutrition. As always, we are here same time, same station. You can't lose us. Here we are. Come on board with us, and together we can change our lives, change our health, and get better as we get older. Every day is a new step to become younger. But it's all based on a choice. We all choose. And the choices we make are either good or bad. And if you're not where you want to be, you're overweight, you may be obese, you have aches and pains, you don't feel good, you lack energy. Now, we have a lot of supplements available in health food stores across the country that you can use to increase your energy level, reduce fatigue, reduce stress, lose weight, be happy. But the foundation of all this is the food you eat, we eat. Food is our best medicine. If you're eating junk, and that's why you can't tolerate stress, and that's why you're tired, you're exhausted, you just feel terrible. You just don't, you're not normal. But you can change all that. Really, you can. People are doing it all the time. I talk to people when I travel. When I go to a health food store to do a lecture, people tell me all the time that they made changes. If you don't make changes, and you're doing the same thing over and over again, and you expect different results, that's insane. That's never going to work. You've got to make wholesale changes. Give up the fast food. Give up the junk. Give up the sugar. Give up the desserts. Give up the sweets. Give up the carbohydrates that throughout the American diet are refined and processed. And all the ultra-processed packaged foods that we find in the center of the grocery stores, supermarkets, or whatever, they're all bad for us. They're man-made foods. They're synthetic, filled with chemicals, coloring, pesticides, and preservatives. You can't sustain your life on those kinds of foods. You got to make changes. Follow the ketogenic diet or the paleo diet or the Mediterranean diet. You've got to make better choices. More fruits and vegetables, good protein, lots of good quality fats. Fats are good for us, and we need plenty of them. The ketogenic diet is more fats than proteins or carbohydrates. There are people that just cannot tolerate sugar and carbohydrates. We are not meant to. There's only a very short span of time when humans were starting to eat grains, carbohydrates, pasta, breads, and that was the past 10,000 years. Now you say, well, that's a long time. Not in the evolution of man. As we came on millions of years ago, we did not eat grains, bread, pasta. We ate vegetables, fruits, any other kind of vegetables that were around, and good protein, good fats. That'll make a change. And then if you want to add supplements, go for it. There are many supplements that are highly concentrated and give you great results. Look for some great companies that have some excellent products, and you will make changes you've never thought of impossible. You thought it was not possible, but it is possible. You can make a difference in your life, your health, by changing your lifestyle. And today we have a lineup of great ideas and presentations. We're going to talk about testosterone, natural and safe boosters of testosterone, natural boosters, not drugs, not synthetic compounds. Then we're going to talk about olive oil again. We could do something on olive oil every week. That is one of your best fats ever. And all the experts agree that it is one of the most super of all foods. Add olive oil to your diet. There are so many good studies coming out, and also past studies that have been out on the benefits of olive oil. And then we'll talk about perimenopause, which now studies show that it increases the risk of depression. And then a closer look at autoimmune disease. What is autoimmune disease? How does that affect us? Well, we'll talk about that. And then colon cancer in kids. Oh my God. And then taking vitamin D. Well, what about magnesium then? Should you be taking magnesium with vitamin D? We'll talk about vegetable oils. Well, have you ever seen a vegetable oil? It's not from vegetables. There are no vegetable oils. Why do we call them vegetable oils? Where did that ever come from? So we're going to talk about all this and more right here. And we're going to start with testosterone. Why do men need testosterone? And I know the first thing you're going to say, it's for sex. Well, a little bit, yes. But a whole lot more, not. Testosterone is a hormone. And both men and women have ample levels of testosterone if they're healthy and producing a high level of testosterone. But women have less testosterone than men. And men also produce estrogen, but far, far less than women. And yes, testosterone levels in men is about 15 to 20 times higher than in women. Now let me share with you some of the signs of low testosterone in men. These are signs you should look for. Low libido, no desire, don't care. Erectile dysfunction. Now these two, low libido and erectile dysfunction, occurs about 50% or more in men between the ages of 30 and 70. I can get 70, the age of 70, but 30? And then also a very low sperm count. They also, men, have enlarged boobs. And when they put on more weight, they put on more breast weight as well. They enlarge the breast area and actually make the breast more tender. and fatigue and low energy. Feel down, depressed, and have the blues. Irritability, reduced muscle mass, and carrying more body weight, fat body weight. So while we have some indication that it increases our libido, improves our erectile function, that it helps us to increase an erection, and we will increase the sperm count. But that's not all what it's about. Men want to feel great. They want nice skin. They don't say that, but they do want nice skin. They want more energy. They want to feel great. They want to look younger, more youthful. They want less irritability. And they want to have the muscle mass that they have or put more on. They don't necessarily want to be a bodybuilder, but they want to increase muscle mass to be healthy, to increase bone mass, to be stronger. And as we get older, we are more able to take care of ourselves because we have more strength. So testosterone is a lot more than just talking about sex. So the testosterone, people talk about it as low T. Low T is a problem. Male testosterone levels have been declining for decades. Men today have lower testosterone levels compared to men of the same age just a generation ago. Now, there's a 25% decline in testosterone levels in young men that's under the age of 40 over the last 17-year period. 25% decline, that's a huge percentage. There is a best-known study that was published in 2007 found that a 60-year-old man in 2004 had testosterone levels 17% lower than a 60-year-old man in 1987. The average testosterone reduction, is about 1% a year after the age of 30. We are going to slow down. Everything. We don't run as fast when we're 70 as when we were 20. We don't digest as well at 70 as we did as 20. We need more sleep at 70 than we did at 20. Everything changes with age. But testosterone can make a huge difference in how we feel, how we perform, sexually and physically and mentally. Now, we have counterfeit products on the shelves and on the internet. Some people are buying products based on actually labels that are copied, and the ingredients that are in the bottle or box are not really the real product. So they are spiking products, adulterating products. And now today, too many men are buying fake and dangerous testosterone products. The FDA, that is the Food and Drug Administration, has recently identified hundreds of products being sold for bodybuilding or what they call male enhancement, that contain undeclared prescription drugs, such as steroids, or even the active ingredient found in Viagra or Cialis. Two drugs that were originally made for heart disease to increase circulation. Because we also need circulation to perform sexually. Men may even have a desire, but can't perform because of the inability to have an erection. It's all based on blood flow. And Viagra and Cialis can have serious side effects or harmful interactions with other medications. And you may not know you're taking it because many products contain these active drugs without being labeled with the contents of Viagra or Cialis. And the side effects can be headache, nausea, dizziness, bladder pain, upset stomach, tender stomach, cloudy or bloody urine, and vision changes. Now, what would you consider to be a natural testosterone booster? Not a drug, natural. Not Cialis, not Viagra. The best studied herb today to boost the level of testosterone is ashwagandha. I'll spell that for you. You might want to look it up on the internet. You might want to jot it down. You might want to go to your health food store and check it out. And the word is ashwagandha. A like apple, S like Sam, H like Harry, W, A, apple, G, George, A, apple, N, Nancy, D, David, H, Harry, A, apple, A, S, H, W, A, G, A, N, D, H, A, ashwagandha. Now, overweight men that were between 40 and 70 years of age with mild fatigue were treated with an ashwagandha labeled as EP35, ashwagandha EP35, or a placebo for 60 days. The increase in testosterone, free testosterone, was 33%. Totally amazing. And it increased DHEA, another hormone found from the adrenal glands, was increased by 18%. Ashwagandha is an amazing, in fact, they catalog all the herbs that are sold by countries and globally. And in the United States, that I know for sure, I don't know globally, I haven't looked that up, but in the United States, the number one herb sold, this is including mass market, internet, health food channels, doctors, is ashwagandha. Number one. Now, a new study in healthy adults with stress these adults were treated with the same ashwagandha or a fake pill, commonly known as a placebo. Testosterone levels increased by up to 33% in men, and no significant change in women. very safe for both men and women. It will not raise the level of testosterone in women. But the stress levels, and we have plenty of reasons to have stress in the U.S. today. Inflation, economic chaos, stock market, kids in school, sickness. Where are we going to get more cash to keep up with inflation? And with ashwagandha, no matter what the conditions are in the world, the stress levels reduced by up to 62% for both men and women. Now, that's not going to change your life. That's not going to give you any more money. That's not going to make the stock market better. That's not going to make the economy better. But you will feel better. And stress, you know, is a killer. It damages our cells and organs. So when we can reduce stress, we are healthier overall. And ashwagandha can reduce stress levels by 62%, increase testosterone in men only, not women, but only in men by 33%. Well worth its weight in gold. Now, I've mentioned DHEA because testosterone also is increased by DHEA. And ashwagandha increases testosterone and increases DHEA. What a perfect world. DHEA is a hormone, and if you pronounce the hormone, it is probably about 20 letters long. So I'm going to save you that and just tell you that DHEA, that's why everybody calls it DHEA. It's a hormone produced by the adrenal glands. But it converts to testosterone or estrogen. Now here is the kicker. As needed. Converts to testosterone or estrogen as whatever the case might be and as how much is needed by the individual. Pretty cool. DHEA levels will always decline with age. Like I said before, as we get older, everything declines. Even our memory declines, right? Age takes away a lot of the things that we had when we were youthful. Even the youthfulness. DHEA levels decline with age, no question about it. And in some older adults, it may be only 10 or 20% of the level of young people. So it decreased tremendously. Now, there was a clinical trial, and a clinical trial is the gold standard of a trial. It's not a laboratory study, it's not a petri dish study, it's not a cell study, it's not an animal study. Clinical study using humans. A single dose of DHEA, supplementation by finding it in a health food store or in a combination of other ingredients for the adrenal glands might be useful as well. But this DHEA supplementation increased levels of free testosterone in middle-aged men by 23%. Now here we have ashwagandha that has been proven to increase free testosterone by 33%. Then we have DHEA, which is a hormone from the adrenal glands that increases testosterone in middle-aged men by 23%. That would make a great combination. So here's the formula that I would recommend. for boosting testosterone levels. First of all, combine ashwagandha and DHEA. That's a no-brainer. Those two together, fantastic. But we can add more to make it even better. We can add boron, which increases 28% of free testosterone after 1 week of supplementation in men. Then let's add DIM, D-I-M. It frees the bound testosterone. In a clinical trial, male patients undergoing treatment for prostate cancer treated with DIM saw a 38% increase in testosterone levels. P5P, that's the biologically active form of vitamin B6. Vitamin B6. Because low vitamin B6, low levels of B6 have been linked to low testosterone and increased estrogen. We don't want to increase estrogen in men. That's for women. So B6 assures that we will increase testosterone, not estrogen. B6 blocks estrogen in men. And then zinc. All hormone levels require zinc. And I would recommend zinc glycinate. This increases the free testosterone levels, especially effective for men who already have low zinc levels. Now take this combination daily. It'll change your life and your body. With that, my friends, I've got to take a short break for some commercials, but we'll be right back after the commercials are heard. And we have more coming up your way as well. This is Terry Naturally with Terry Talks Nutrition. And greetings again. This is Terry Naturally with Terry Talks Nutrition. We're here to the top of the hour. We have lots more coming your way. Don't go away. We have lots to do. But if you have to go away, you can always listen to this radio program again and again and again by going to my website, terrytalksnutrition.com. You can go to the radio show section and you can bring up this radio program and listen wherever you are, whenever you want to, at your convenience. Not live, but on demand. While you're at the website, the terrytalksnutrition.com website, I have a newsletter that goes out every Friday to your email address. Subscribe to it. We have almost 300,000 subscribers to the newsletter. I should have charged for it. Even $1 a year, $300,000 a year. Wow. But I want it free. I want you to have this information so that you can change your life. Let's make this a better world. And if we want a better world, we have to start with us, you and me. We make the better world. You can't look for somebody else to make changes. You can't look for somebody else to do it first. We have to do it. We have to do it together. Be healthier, be happier, be kinder, be more thoughtful. That all goes into making a better world. But if you want my newsletter, you can subscribe to it on my website. And you'll get a new newsletter every Friday. And there's a lot more on my site that you'll enjoy as well. But let's talk a little bit about olive oil. Oh, one of my favorite subjects. Olive oil. please, please take olive oil. I can't go into detail now because this is not an olive oil subject per se. But they have proven now that even if your diet is not the best diet in the world, if you add olive oil, it can make healthy changes in spite of the diet. And just half a tablespoon. I mean, it's so powerful, so powerful. Dr. Mary Flynn always said, after 30 years of research on olive oil, it's the only food in the world that can have the greatest impact on every disease to prevent, cure, and treat diseases. Wow. Olive oil. So simple. And now we're going to talk about olive oil and dementia. Actually, olive oil protects against dementia. It protects against almost every disease known. You mentioned the disease, and there are studies on olive oil preventing that disease or curing it. So now researchers reviewed the nutritional intake data collected from surveys of nurses and healthcare professionals of over 90,000 subjects, starting in the late 1970s and early 1980s. All of the subjects, all of the participants, generally healthy when the surveys began. And the results of this survey. This is something you really want to hear. Just listen to this. This is such a simple plan for better health. The subject who consumed about a half a tablespoon of olive oil per day, simple, had a 28% reduced risk of dying from dementia. And also this study confirms previous research reporting a 30% reduction from dying from neurological diseases, which include Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease, with a regular intake of olive oil. Not once a week or twice a week, every day. And don't be afraid to go beyond a half a tablespoon. But at least try to get a half a tablespoon a day. And I want you to put it in a spoon. Put a olive oil in a spoon and take it off the spoon. Don't drizzle it on your salads for your intake. Yes, you can do that too. I put it on everything I eat. The vegetables I eat, the meat I eat, the fish I eat, the salmon I eat, eggs I eat, all has olive oil drenching the food I eat. Plus, I start off the morning with a shot glass and a half of olive oil. The more you take, the better. There are some people in the Mediterranean countries that consume a cup a day of olive oil. Now, I know you're not going to ever do that. I probably won't either. I'm happy with my shot glass and a half every morning, but I drench all my food throughout the day with olive oil. Because if you're just going to drizzle on your salad, when you get done eating your salad, look at all the olive oil in the bowl, in the dish. And you're wasting all that. So take it off of a spoon to make sure you're getting at least a half a tablespoon a day. If you want to be even healthier, 1 to 4 tablespoons daily. Now, the same study that has shown a 28% reduction in the risk of dying from dementia. This study also confirms a 30% reduction from dying from Alzheimer's disease with regular intake of olive oil. Not when you think of it. Multiple studies have documented the anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and brain protective benefits of olive oil. A very powerful anti-inflammatory. As powerful as drugs, without the side effects of drugs, without it being synthetic. Well, everyone wants to know. I have been asked many times, what brands of olive oil do I recommend and what do I take? Well, first of all, I wrote a book. I am so impressed with the studies and the research on olive oil. I'm a very simple person, so I wrote a very simple book. Everybody can read it. Everybody can understand it. It's no rocket science. Right down to earth. Unlock the therapeutic effects of olive oil. That's my book. So if you want to read my book, you want to get my book, click on Health Books on my website, terrytalksnutrition.com, for a link to order the book. Here are a few brands I use and recommend highly. I'll spell them so you have all the information. So grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. The first one is called Cured. Not spelled like cured, but spelled Kyoord. It's called the Governor. It's in the white bottle. That's the one I use 90% of my time. I test a lot of olive oils because I want to be able to give you a lot of good information and which ones to use and which ones not to use. And many of the olive oils that I recommend are in my book by price. Many of these olive oils are very expensive because they're pressed from the first growth of olives. So there is less ability to squeeze the oil out of the early olives. They're too green, but that's the best oil because it has the highest concentration of polyphenols, because the polyphenols are there to protect the growth of the olives. Now, another one is called KOS, Costarina, KOS, TERINA, Costarina. And the third one, and there are about 25 in my book, but I'll give you a third one, Liocaris, LIOKAREAS. Those three are top olive oils with the highest levels of polyphenols and are not spiked. They are the original quality olive oils, and they come from Greece. I think overall, Greece is not the highest producer of olive oil. Spain is. Spain produces 50% of all the olive oil consumed in the world. There's more olive oil sold out of Italy and Greece than Spain. I like the oil from Greece. Now, ladies, it's your turn. Perimenopause, unfortunately, increases the risk of depression. Perimenopause is the time of transition between a woman's reproductive years ending and menopause beginning. It's the end of menstrual cycles. Not quite menopause, but to the end of having menstrual cycles, of having a period. New study reports menopause brings about 40% increased risk of depression. That's a high number, but it's an accurate number. 40% increased risk of depression when menstrual cycles stop. Researchers analyzed the data from 7 studies involving over 9,000 women and found that a risk of depression went up significantly when women entered the perimenopausal years. During the reproductive years, men are at a higher risk of depression than men. And this risk peaks during perimenopause, a time of the highest amount of hormone fluctuation. Before puberty and after menopause, the risk of depression is about the same for both men and women. Now, how can we help women during the menopausal period, perimenopausal period? Hormone therapy. Let's go back to the subject that we talked about earlier, testosterone boosters. DIM, D-I-M. Helps prevent estrogen dominance. Too much estrogen or too much estrogen in relationship to progesterone prevents estrogen from converting to forms that can be harmful. Helps the body break down and safely excrete other estrogens. And the dosage to help women in this period of time, in the perimenopausal period of time, about 120 milligrams of DIM with 250 milligrams of curcumin and French grapeseed extract. An excellent combination, an excellent formulation. And then adding other mood boosters. Ashwagandha, we talked about earlier in the show. Ashwagandha reduces stress, increases the mood, wipes away the blues, makes the sun shine even when there is no sunshine. St. John's wort, 900 milligrams of a special extract daily. You only need 1 pill in the morning of 900 milligrams daily. All the research had been done originally in Germany on St. John's wort. And St. John's wort was prescribed in Germany at one time more than all the other antidepressants together. It was much, much safer. It was far more effective. But they recommended 300 milligrams 3 times a day, 900 milligrams. But research has shown that St. John's wort has a half-life. So only half of the St. John's wort is used in a 24-hour period. So by just taking a 900 milligram tablet once in the morning, you're good for the day. You don't have to worry about the other two, or you might forget them. So taking 150 milligrams of ashwagandha twice a day, 900 milligrams daily of St. John's wort, and then Greek mountain tea, 500 milligrams once or twice daily would be extra boosters. Maybe you don't need all three, but those three came to my mind when I was preparing this presentation. Ashwagandha, 150 milligrams once or twice daily. I like twice, but that's what I found to be the best. You can find what works best for you. St. John's wort, from mild to moderate depression. 900 milligrams just once daily. Greek mountain tea, 500 milligrams. I like twice a day. Oh, this is the subject I hate. Colon cancer in kids. More young kids are getting colon cancer at an age when we would never, ever have thought it possible. Colon cancer, that happens in older people, 50, 60, and older. But now data has already shown that colon cancer rates are steadily increasing in young adults. The new data finds that colon cancer rates in kids, now we're talking 10 to 14, has increased over 500% in the past 20 years, from 1999 to 2020. Although it's still rare, colon cancer in kids is still quite rare, but this trend is increasing and very, very concerning. Colon cancer takes 5 to 10 and even more years to progress from a polyp to cancer, meaning kids have been exposed to cancer-causing agents at a very young age. And what are some of the other conditions that may cause colon cancer in kids? Obesity. And 18% of the children of that age are obese. Ultra-processed foods, like breakfast cereals, like junk, like boxed, prepared, man-made foods. And the sedentary lifestyle, on phones, on screens, not outside playing, not playing kick the can, not playing tag, not rover, it did come over. All the good stuff we played as kids. They're not doing it anymore. And the use of antibiotics, because the antibiotics destroy both good and bad bacteria and damage the colon and the gastrointestinal biome. So we destroy the good, friendly bacteria. And kids are unhealthy, so they have more infection, more colon flu, and the need for more antibiotics. And they become resistant to it, causing more colon cancer in kids. What about taking vitamin D? Are you taking vitamin D? D like in dog? Great. But what about magnesium? Well, vitamin D needs magnesium together. Many vitamins and minerals work synergistically with each other. So they complement each other. They boost each other. There's a magnetism between certain nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. And magnesium is essential for vitamin D metabolism and the activation of vitamin D in the body. Insufficient magnesium, low levels of magnesium, can impair the conversion of vitamin D into its active form. There's a lot that goes on in our body that we aren't aware of. Just because we swallowed something doesn't mean anything. We don't even know that, green tea in capsule form or drinking, only all of the active components, the EGCG, the catechins, we only absorb about 1% or less than 1% of the benefits of green tea. We don't know what's going on in our body. So when we have low levels of magnesium, we cannot convert vitamin D into its active form. Without magnesium, and substantially more magnesium, vitamin D actually is stored in the body in its inactive form. And then, when it's time to convert vitamin D into its active form, that is done in the liver and the kidneys. There's a lot going on that we don't know, or we never thought to think about. We're not chemists. We're not biochemists. We're not scientists. But that's why I try to get some good points across every time I'm here, to tell you what we must do in order to have better health overall. And 50 to 75%, and I've seen 50 to 95% of American adults don't meet the daily recommended minimum intake of magnesium. I've seen 95% of American adults, are deficient in magnesium. Now, there are different forms of magnesium. Magnesium is a dietary supplement that's found in many forms. Magnesium citrate, magnesium oxide, magnesium hydroxide, also known as milk of magnesia. These forms of magnesium are poorly absorbed, and in fact, some of them have laxative effects and cause diarrhea. Some people say, I can't take magnesium, I get diarrhea. Well, you're just taking the wrong one. And doctors routinely prescribe the wrong one because they don't know the difference. Magnesium glycinate, chelate, is bound to an amino acid, very, very well absorbed. No diarrhea, no laxative effects. Now, if you need a laxative effect, magnesium citrate or oxide probably is the best choice to take. It's safer. And you can regulate how much you need in order to maintain a soft stool for constipation. And then combine B6, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, and zinc for pressure and heart benefits and more. I'm all out of time, my friends. God bless you, and God bless this great country. Say a prayer for this world that we live in.
Thank you for listening to Terry Talks Nutrition Weekly Show. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform, including Apple, Google, and iHeartRadio.